Can you hear me? You're getting so big in there. I'm just waiting for Daddy to come home. He's been texting me about you all day. Oh, I just felt you kick. Oh, I know you're always kicking whenever you hear any mention of Daddy. Oh, you already love him so much. I don't think I ever told you how Daddy and I met yet, did I? Well, it was a rainy Thursday night about 7 years ago. Yeah, I know, it was a long time ago. And I was driving home from work. It was getting really nasty outside, and I still had a long way to go, when suddenly I noticed that one of my tire pressures was getting incredibly low. Oh, there's another kick. Yeah, Mama was scared that night. I had to get out of the car in the pouring rain, and I had to examine which one it was. And that was when I saw that I had the biggest nail stuck in my tire. Oh, I didn't know if I was going to make it back. It seemed like it was only going to get worse and worse, and Mommy had only changed a tire about one time before in her life, so she also had some help, and I didn't do it all on my own, so I wasn't really sure how I was going to make it work. So for the next hour, I struggled by myself in the rain to try to take the tire off. Oh, Mama's getting hungry. Oh, I couldn't do it. And then, when I least expected it, it was like my own knight on a white horse. Well, Daddy had a white car at the time, so that's why I said that. But it was as if my own personal Prince Charming had come to save me, had come to rescue me. At first, I was a little bit creeped out, as any small young woman would be when she's stranded on the side of the road, hoping that some good Samaritan will come and help her. And lo and behold, it was your daddy. Yeah. Oh. You always kick when you hear me say Daddy. He was so nice. He came out of the car and he even acknowledged that he wasn't a creep, and he was really good at fixing cars. In fact, he worked part-time as a mechanic. And he just wanted to help me. So, within about 10 minutes, Daddy took off the tire, put on a new one, and I thanked him for his help. I said I didn't know what I would have done without him. I would have had to call AAA, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to believe that I was capable of doing something like that. But the best part was that Daddy had an umbrella, and yes, I forgot mine, but Daddy had one, and he even kind of showed me some tips on how to do it next time, in case it ever happened again. He was really helpful. Before he left me, he said, I know you probably won't ever call me, but it seems like we live nearby based on what we've said to each other thus far. And he said that if I was ever to get stranded again, and if I didn't want to call AAA, then I could give him a ring, And if he wasn't doing anything, he would come and help me. And we said goodbye. And then, you know what happened? Later that night, I just couldn't stop thinking about him. How nice he was, how handy he was. Maybe even how good looking I thought he was. How he seemed like he could be my type. And I ended up texting him that night, thanking him again for his generosity, for pulling over to help a complete stranger with her car. He texted me back within minutes, saying that it was no problem at all and that he enjoyed meeting me and that I seemed like I had a really good head on my shoulders, even though I didn't know how to change a tire. I can't wait for him to come home. He should be home within the next 20 minutes. Inevitably, we couldn't stop texting each other. It went on for days and weeks. And after about a month of texting, I wanted to take things slow. The reality was that I wanted to see him within a week of meeting him, but I wasn't sure, and I wanted to get to know him a little bit more, so we did. He got to know me too. And then we went on our first date a month later. And we found out that we had so much in common. We both wanted to have 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls, and obviously that was out of our control, but we just couldn't believe how many common beliefs we shared, how we had been through similar experiences in life. And now we have the most beautiful baby in our own home. We're financially stable. And if all goes well, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a little brother or sister shortly after I had you. Daddy and I want to have as many kids as we can. But you're our first. We're going through everything for the first time with you, baby. Daddy and I already love you so much. And we both made sure that we found a partner that was compatible enough, that was loving enough to raise babies with. And thankfully, Daddy and I found each other in this crazy world full of crazy people. But we wanted to make sure it was right. We wanted to make sure that everything, and I mean everything, aligned before we decided to have you. And so we did. Oh my goodness, you're really hungry. I bet by the time Mama finishes making something to eat, Daddy will be back. Oh God, okay, let's go to the kitchen. Oh, you're gonna be a big baby, I can tell. You're so hungry all the time. Normally Daddy makes me something to eat because he's such a good husband. But I'll just make something small while we await for his return. Okay? Does that sound good, you little munchkin? Okay, come on. I love you so much. And I know you love Mommy too. Come on, let's go.